Yes, everyone, here we go again, and that here we go is quite, well, it's the word, isn't it? It's the topic, it's the name of the game for Manchester United at the moment. Can I just ask the chat straight out at the top of this show, did you ever imagine the transfer window being at this stage, at this point of the window, August right now, 1 week in, we've still got 3 weeks more left to go in the transfer window. Did you ever expect to be in this position? It's been an absolute whirlwind of a few days. We have massive updates tonight, actually. Like Sesko has got the here we go. He's on his way to Manchester. He's in the air right now, in fact. Flight delayed though, sadly. Typical, innit, throughout Manchester United's transfer window. There's got to be one more delay just to slow things up. But no, he's in the air now. He's expected to land any minute, actually. So we could get a Sesko in Manchester. Here we go, live, actually. Well, we're actually here on the show. But yeah, that one, as we did earlier on, we did a fan reaction, basically, to Sesko's signing. So it was a bit of a on-the-spot live show. He's in. We've got him. He's now heading out to Manchester. We're going into a few little details on that as well. Big update on the Baleba situation as well that you're going to be very, very interested in. I promise you, you will be interested in this update. Also, Garnacho, you've seen Ornstein after the Benjamin Sesko situation. So we have 3 major headlines tonight and some more after that as well, with other things going on at Manchester United. It has been an absolute blockbuster. And you know what? I am still buzzing off Benjamin Sesko signing for Manchester United. So that is all going to be done, dusted and wrapped up over tomorrow. Expected to be unveiled at Manchester United at Old Trafford, like we said, for the Fiorentina game on Saturday lunchtime. So anyone who's going to the game, you are going to see all 3 of Manchester United's brand new signings this summer. All £200 million worth of them on the pitch. Sesko won't be playing, sadly, but obviously he is going to be unveiled there, so that's as good as being out there, I think. And one big build-up to Arsenal next week. Now, by the way, just on the Benjamin Sesko, to finish it off, obviously we did the Here We Go video, so you already know everything that's happened. But some other details that came in, if you didn't actually know, was that within the negotiations, Manchester United have organised and agreed to a friendly with Leipzig, which will bring them another €2 million on top, which is clever for Manchester United, very clever. So that is penciled in for them. Obviously, that was part of the deal. Benjamin Sesko waiving extra money on his wages to come to Manchester United, which is crazy. And then his agency actually waiving their fee or part of their commission to make this happen. There has been some sacrifice in making this deal go down for Benjamin Sesko. Again, Manchester United finding players in this transfer market that really want and are fully going to be invested into the Manchester United project. This is going to be one hell of a time and a period for Manchester United, I feel. And I think, I said it before, Ineos really putting a lot of the haters, putting them down or quietening them up a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot to work on at the football club and there's still going to be a lot more to get into. But let's be honest, this transfer window has been a major success for the football club and it could get even better. Now get into the comments section and talk to me about Sesko. Have your conversations in there, please, everybody. Get involved, that's what's important. We want to get your thoughts on the evening show as well. We're going to get through as many comments as we can throughout the show as well, because there is a lot to talk about. So when we're looking at Sesko being done, we obviously then know that there isn't that much money left over from what we've got available cash-wise. So it's all on to sales. So we heard about Garnacho. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But Manchester United's hunt for Carlos Baleba and what is happening with that. Now, again, we have always been updating you on this, and we were live last night when this broke. So I'm going to bring you the updates in its entirety now on where Manchester United are actually at. And this has come from Indy Kiley again. He has been the one that has broke this. Several journalists all working together, and that is that account. That is the ones that really have hit a few nails on the head this summer with some deals. And they are saying this afternoon, as of the last hour, this is where we're at with Carlos Baleba now. Carlos Baleba and his agent have just got to the word this lunchtime from Brighton that Manchester United have officially made their move. So they're claiming that United have gone now. We're in. United have made it clear they want Baleba this summer. They've reached out through the right channels and it was done respectfully. So United going down the road of going straight to the football club, no messing or trying to get things done behind the scenes and tapping up and just trying to make a scene so the player would leave as such. Very Alexander Isak and Liverpool and Newcastle, you could say. Baleba's been told that if a respectable bid comes in, serious talks will start. What's interesting is that Andre Onana is stepping in to help out. He's using his connections, and their shared Cameroon background to sway Baleba, telling him that Manchester United is the place to be, even without Champions League football. Without Champions League football, Andre, because of you, honestly, like, is he a better agent than he is a goalkeeper? I mean, he played the part with Mbumo, now he's doing the Baleba part. Honestly, he's wasted in there. He needs to be out there being a connections guy, doesn't he? Honestly, I think Andre Onana must have some kind of deal with Manchester United behind the scene where he's saying, look, if I get these deals done, you can't sell me next year or this season. So, yeah, he's trying to bribe and blackmail Manchester United into keeping him at the football club, I think. But this is where I looked at the story and I thought, yeah, I can see that. And I got to the bottom bit where it was like Andre Onana was like, come on, that can't be real, can it? But then again, apparently he did actually communicate with Brian Mbumo, talk to him, obviously international teammates. And if he can do it with Brian Mbumo, he more than certainly can do it with Carlos Baleba. So, yeah, I say what you want from that, but super agent Andre Onana is on the case for Manchester United, and he is integral to negotiations for Manchester United to sign the 21-year-old from Brighton. Who'd have thought, eh? Players actually making transfers happen. Look, it's a load of crap, really, isn't it, that bit of it? I'm sure he talks to him and he's had his say, but he's going to have no influence whatsoever on what happens with Carlos Baleba. But it's just a nice little story to read on top of everything. And do you know what? I feel like I can laugh this off at the moment because of all of the business that's already been done. It would have been struggling in the window and I was hearing stories like this. You know, it would have been doing my nutting along with a load of other Manchester United fans. But yeah, we can laugh this off. I mean, we do know that United are in for Baleba. Romano himself today has said, I will tell you more in the coming hours and days about Manchester United and Carlos Baleba. I said this before, something has been working away at this deal for a little bit longer than what we realise, I feel. Romano was doing this again. I said he did this with Sesko. He knew he was going United. It's what he kept saying. He kept on making videos and making videos and making videos, just teasing us along. Reality was, Manchester United were pretty much done with Sesko a long time before we actually knew about it. Could we be about to get strike 4 with Baleba right now? I actually think, and I've said this before, I was talking on the midday video before the breaking news of the Here We Go with Sesko. So yeah, this is the 4th video of the day actually. It shows you how busy it actually is. But I was saying in that video, Baleba wants United. That's come out already today. And then this news on him after is now coming out on top of that. So let's see, because last time Indy actually dropped a bomb like this, it came about later through Romano and Ornstein. Now, Romano and Ornstein obviously have both spoken about Baleba, of course, as well. And Romano, like I just said, has said that he's going to tell us more in the coming hours and days about Baleba to Manchester United. It is a difficult deal to get, yes. But at the same time, Manchester United are obviously looking to sell players on. Now, in the video on that we did at midday today, we were talking about Baleba wanting United. Then we were talking about how Manchester United now would move things along. We didn't know about the Here We Go at that point, and was thinking, right, as soon as Sesko gets announced, what's going to happen? Is there going to be news that these journalists know that they have just been waiting to tell everybody else, because it moves them on to the next story? So nothing more to talk about with Sesko, big news. Let's save this story that we already know about and then start speaking about that after the Here We Go and the done deal side of things. So Ornstein went with Garnacho. Romano went with Baleba. I think something's happening. Other journalists have gone with Rasmus. Rasmus was on the other video earlier on as well, in that he now is looking elsewhere. Napoli and AC Milan both now interested in taking Rasmus Højlund. Ben Jacobs coming out and then saying that United now want 40 million for Rasmus Højlund. There is an offer on the table with a loan and option to buy. Manchester United now, after everything's wrapped up with Benjamin Sesko, will look to move Rasmus Højlund on. We've spoken about this before anyway, and we know that this is the case and what's happening with Rasmus. But to get to a point now where we are ready to sell players, I think is important when moving forward on Baleba, going off this story. So all the way through the day, we've had Baleba wants Manchester United. It's a difficult deal to get, but United will still try. To this point where we're at right now, I'll just read it out one more time. If you're just joining us on Baleba right now, from the update from the guys that actually broke it before Ornstein and Romano yesterday while we was live, Carlos Baleba and his agents just got word this lunchtime from Brighton that Manchester United have officially made their move. They reached out through the right channels and it was done respectfully. Baleba's been told that if a respectable bid comes in, serious talks will start. Now, the story from earlier on was that Manchester United could not afford or didn't feel comfortable or confident enough that they would get near what Brighton wanted for Baleba. So I think somewhere in and around 90 million gets this deal done. I just feel Brighton don't want him to go, and that's why they're also, with other news coming out, they're trying to nail down Baleba to a new contract, which would have a clause in it for him to leave, but not until next summer. Well, like I said earlier on, next summer brings everyone else into the equation, and Manchester United know that Liverpool and Arsenal right now are not in the position they need to be to buy Baleba now. United have to get him this summer, otherwise we're relying on the progress this season and getting into the Champions League as a definite. So at this moment in time, United would probably be the favourites because the other clubs are spent up or are dealing with other deals. Like the Isak one for Liverpool in particular. Arsenal already signing 2 more midfielders. So yes, let's just look at it that way and think, right, okay, United feel like they have to get this deal done now and they have to move forward quite quickly to get this over the line. So let's get into selling players and let's move forward with this. But that's all of today's news on Baleba. Him wanting Manchester United, Brighton trying to get him into a new contract, and now later this afternoon, Brighton informing the player and his agent that United have made a move. And serious talks will happen as long as the bid is respectful, the bid is close to what Brighton want. So let's see if Manchester United do raise that money to actually go in and buy Carlos Baleba. That is the big news on this. We're going to bring up the chat on this as well now, just to get your thoughts on where we're at with Baleba in particular, because that is the hot topic. Now that Sesko is pretty much done, let's have a quick look at Baleba and where you're at with him. Do you feel like this deal is something that can happen? Let me know, everybody. Get into the chats. Let's reading through a few of these now. I mean, when you look at it, I reckon... Let's just see. I mean, when you look at Brighton's approach to Baleba and are they reacting to him not signing or not agreeing to go for a new contract? Like, if they've offered Baleba a new contract, has he turned it down? Is this why Brighton are actually going now to him and his agent saying Manchester United have been in touch? You can go, but it's got to be for the right money. This I feel it could have been happening days ago, weeks ago. We just don't know. We don't know. If it has been in the works for Baleba for a while and they know that he's not actually signing this contract, I think that communication for Baleba, like I said at the top of the show, was in the works a long time before we actually knew about this deal. I think something has been going on before it, I do. And I think this is where we're at right now. Let's get a few comments on this. Daniel says, Højlund can learn from Sesko and in 3 years' time, they'll both be 25 and much more developed. It could be a deadly duo. But if they are deadly, we're going to still be playing one up top because Ruben will still be in charge and they won't be a deadly duo. There could be a combination going in and out. But right now, would you want Rasmus to stay? Or would you want him to be part of making money to bring in Carlos Baleba? That's the question I'm asking in the chat right now. We all said the other day, including myself, I would love for Rasmus Højlund to stay at Manchester United and prove himself as a number 2 behind Sesko. Strength and depth is good. Strength and depth for United in that position is something that we haven't had for a few years, and this would be ideal. But we didn't know about Carlos Baleba. We didn't know that this was actually serious. And then you move on to a completely different level of thinking, which is, right, okay, do I want Rasmus to stay? Yeah. But do I want Carlos Baleba? Yeah. See you later, Rasmus. I don't think there's any other way of looking at it. I'm sorry. I like you, Rasmus. But when it comes to Man United's midfield and an opportunity comes knocking where you might be part of it and sold because we can use that money to bring in a world-class operator who's going to be at this club for God knows how many years, that's got to happen. That's how I see the situation anyway. And I'm not going to be convinced that Rasmus Højlund is the right man to be at Manchester United more than Carlos Baleba coming in as a signing this summer. I think it's important that Manchester United are very, very strict. And remember when we said before the window opened, there's going to be some tough calls that need to be made by Manchester United. And Rasmus is crying out to the club like he wants to stay. He doesn't want to leave Manchester United. I get it. He's a fan. I wouldn't want to go to anywhere else. I feel for him. I do. If I was in his shoes, I'd be doing everything. But United are in such a state at the moment, and we're trying to recover so much that he doesn't stand a chance. He really doesn't stand a chance, does he, in clinging on to his place at Manchester United. Needs must is the word. And Rasmus has to be sacrificed in this one for me. And that, I feel, will happen. And maybe the right signing, but at the wrong time, I think. That's how we'll probably look at Rasmus Højlund. Jack with a super chat. Thank you, Jack. Anana for director of football. Yeah, there's a job for him. There's a job for him. Let him go and do his antics and let him go and be influential off the pitch instead of on it. Because, yeah, he looks like he is miles more effective for Manchester United off the pitch than he is actually doing his day job. I would dare. Let's just see. Daniel says, selling Garnacho, Sancho, Malacia and Anthony are all way more important to sell. They'll sell who they can sell, but sell players who aren't playing currently. Again, I know what you're saying, but people want Rasmus Højlund. There is a need for him. And if he is going to go towards paying towards Baleba, then sorry, Rasmus, you're out of the door. Again, sentimentality has to leave this football club. That mentality has to be gone. It has to be. He is not good enough right now for Manchester United. He could be, and I agree. He could be a good player for Manchester United. He could come out as a great number 2, and he could be useful for us as depth. But Baleba would be more useful for us as a first-team regular, adding complete and utter balance to what is turning out to be and shaping up to be a very, very dangerous-looking football team. So, yeah, Baleba has to take priority over it. And the other players do need to be sold as well. I'm not forgetting about them. It's a shame that it's fallen on Rasmus this way. I will say that, unfortunately for him anyway. I think Anana steps up with his countrymen in the team. Again, we talked about the actual AFCON having a problem for Manchester United with all the African players we've actually got in the team now. 72 million player to be on the bench. Yep, that has happened at United quite often. I think we're all used to that, to be honest. He's a United fan, wants best for us. How about sale with a buyback option? Possibly. Barada said 2 years and perform or you're out. Rasmus has had that send him packing. And yeah, that is something that Omar Barada has been big on. We've spoken about that before. 2 years in, if you're not cutting it at Manchester United, then it's time up. You're going to be out of the door. So let's see if this is how it's going to go down for Rasmus Højlund as well. I actually can see him going right now. I can see this one ending in tears for him. Let's get some more comments in. Talk to me about Baleba, everybody. Well, you've got a chance. Baleba will replace Casemiro and maybe get Agate firing. Says Lee. Dan with a super chat says, you think if we sell Højlund, we buy Watkins as well? No, definitely not. No more strikers. No more forwards coming in to Manchester United. We are greedy. Stop it. No, I just can't see it, to be honest. That's all. The work is done for United in the front line, well and truly, and what a good job it was. Now it's time to start looking at midfield and goalkeeper. two more signings. People actually talking today and journalists coming out and saying that Manchester United are not done yet. They want two more players in, a midfielder and the goalkeeper. So Senne Lammens is still being spoken about. That was talk of that was a lot of talk of that this morning. This goes to show how big the days are coming right now for Manchester United fans and everything that's going on. Like, there was actually genuine reports on Senne Lammens this morning, and nobody has talked about it because of everything else that's going on and the massive deals that could be about to happen at Manchester United. No one really cares. And that's the crazy thing right now, because goalkeeper is massive. We could be doing all of this work and signing great midfield, having a balanced outfield, great forwards, finishers in the side, goals going up. You still got Andre Onana in goal. It'll scupper it at one point, won't it? That's what we've got to look at here with this. So again, when you look at the importance of Manchester United's business this summer, I spoke about the money and what we've got available going into next summer. If we're not in the Champions League or we're not into Europe, we're going to struggle. We need to buy players now. This is the time. There is a fantastic opportunity. United have grasped it so far with both hands, and they have dug their nails in. And they have got hold of Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko now. Done. Wrapped up. In the team, in the starting lineup for the start of the season. We go for a midfielder and we get a goalkeeper, because I don't think we're going to have as much money to spend when we get into pre-season next season. It's going to be more difficult because, I said this before, we're feeding off the finances of being in Europe the last couple of years. We're not in Europe this year, so that part, the finances from this year will then carry on into next and then have an effect on us because we haven't got as much money. So player sales now are absolutely crucial. And this is where Bruno could come into it next year. Don't count out one more year with Bruno and then he might take that offer and go to Saudi Arabia. I don't know. That might be where the money is going to come from for next summer. I've got no idea. I'm just talking about what was being spoken about the other day with Bruno having at least one more year at United. I'm just thinking ahead, but being in the Champions League will definitely help United. It will help United massively because we'll be getting the gate receipts and we can calculate them gate receipts into the finances in the summer leading into the new financial year. So at least European football now. With Sesko in, United need to be challenging for the top four. I said before, if Baleba comes in, United are guaranteed top four. I've said that, and I'll stick to it. So, Baleba looks like it is moving forward, everybody, is the headline from today so far. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. Over 500 likes already, about halfway through the show. You know what that means. They're getting close to that 1,000 mark again. Amazing numbers as always, everyone. Please keep in the chat there. Keep liking the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well to stay up to date. We are bringing you all of the news here on location. It's been an absolute belter so far. I knew that things always happen when I was away, but I didn't expect this much to happen while I was away. It's absolutely crazy. We are waiting for the landing of Benjamin Sesko as well. So yes, this is something that's going to be spoken about amongst all of social media. I can see people tracking the flight already. He is supposed to be here now. Apparently, he is supposed to have landed. So yeah, I think there is a delay, so we'll just wait it out and see. Right, let's move on to Garnacho and that other news. Keep your comments coming in about Baleba and Sesko. We will be touching back in with them. Want to get as many of your thoughts in on the show today as well. But after the news of Benjamin Sesko, which David Ornstein came out with alongside Romano, first of all, Ornstein dropped the Garnacho bomb, another one that talks are now advancing for Garnacho. With Chelsea. They have been talking and communicating for weeks and a while now, and now we're moving into the crucial stages. It's thought that personal terms are not going to be an issue for Garnacho, but when David Ornstein says talks are advanced, expect a bid from Chelsea to be hitting us very, very soon. Now that's the talking points. This is what a lot of people have been talking about. What is Garnacho worth? There's a story that is just come in now from Sam Wallace from The Telegraph saying Manchester United have told Chelsea they will have to pay 50 million to sign Garnacho. Madueke deal seen as a benchmark. Now look, United have hit them benchmarks for signings. They've paid it. Chelsea have taken money for it. And when you look at the numbers Garnacho has put up to all of the other big signings for players in his position this summer, then you have to put him up there. Like for instance, like Mohamed Kudus, nowhere near what Garnacho's numbers are. Not even half as good as what Garnacho's are. He's gone 55 million. You look at Madueke there, worse off. Anthony Elanga, worse off than Garnacho's numbers this season for Manchester United in our worst ever season. He's 21. Let's not forget that. He has got bags of potential, and Chelsea are going to have to come in. Now, the word was that they were thinking that United, after selling Sesko, would need money and then would go in and lowball United. I don't think United are going to go for it. We know that United will stand their ground with these deals now. I think we're all safe within thinking that this ownership model now and this management group at United are going to get the best out of any of these deals. 50 million, I think, is the higher end of what Garnacho is worth. I think he is worth that, yes. I would take 45. At a push, 40. I don't think United would go that low. But 40 with sell on and things like this, and maybe it was a deal that might happen. Going to be really interested. If Chelsea want this deal to happen, then they're going to have to fork out some money. I'll go with the 50. I think that's fair. Going off the margins and going off what other players have gone for this summer, I think Manchester United are quite within their rights to ask for 50 million for Garnacho. Apparently Chelsea have vetted him and they don't see a problem with his attitude or his character. Well, if you haven't got a problem with that, then everything that's happened at United doesn't count then, does it? Pay the money. Look at the numbers. Look what he does. He scores goals. He'll work well in a system with Maresca if he can get in the side. But go on. Go and win your career at Chelsea. That's what I say, Garnacho. But yeah, that's where Manchester United are actually at. Romano has come out and said that he cannot see this not happening. He thinks that this is done. Like, he has said this today, this afternoon. Romano's come out with quite a lot, actually, today. And he said that Garnacho will leave. He's waiting for Chelsea. He has offers from multiple football clubs, but only wants Chelsea. Waiting out for them. If it's not Chelsea, it's not happening. I kind of disagree with that one, Garner, mate, because you ain't going to play at Manchester United. So, yeah, we'll see who wins on this one. I think United will. But interested in the timing of this. If Chelsea are going to wait and drag this out, if Chelsea are going to come in and say, well, just wait right till the end of the window, then take Garnacho, then this news today has come as a bit of a surprise. Ornstein dropping this right after the Sesko news tells me that there is something that is very close. Ornstein will not come out and say that a deal is this advanced if there wasn't anything happening behind the scenes. Something is definitely cooking with Garnacho and Chelsea. And this, I feel, now is going to push Manchester United to the point of what they need. And I think it's going on to Baleba. I think that's where it is. 50 million for Garnacho. If they get what they want and they get 50 million, then, my God, this window is going to open up into the best ever for Manchester United. Yes, I said the words ever. Because if you get Baleba, I challenge you to even get anywhere near a transfer window, even in Sir Alex Ferguson's era, that we have actually done as good as this one in. There's none. I can't think of any. Like, there's some really good ones, don't get me wrong, that we got really excited about. One that springs to mind for me, just to go back down memory lane, was definitely the Owen Hargreaves, Anderson, Nani and Carlos Tevez transfer window. That was an absolute blockbuster, that one. United did amazing business that summer and we won the double. We got the Champions League and the Premier League with them signings. So, yeah, that is probably one of the best that I can remember. I mean, get yours in the chat and tell me if you want what your best window was when Manchester United smashed it and crushed it. But Baleba coming in and Manchester United getting rid of the bomb squad has to go down. Circumstances involved, and obviously looking at where United are at and where we finished, come on. Like, every other good window United have had has been in the past when Manchester United were a success. Manchester United have been a disaster last season, and we're about to have one of the best transfer windows I think any club would take. The clubs that are challenging at the top you would expect to have a window like United are having this summer. I think we're right up there now challenging for winning the transfer window. If we get Baleba, I think United have won it. I think we've overtaken Liverpool if we get Baleba in terms of the best business so far. Now, that's a statement, I know. But, again, look at the circumstances. Look where United are. Look where we've finished. Look what we're competing in. And tell me that we have not had the best summer out of any other Premier League club. you could argue Sunderland coming in and, and spending what they've spent, but I mean, the players that Manchester United are bringing in is the big one for me. Let's get some more chats in here. Thank you, everybody. It's going to run through a quick few super chats as well. Keep the likes coming in and your comments. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you, everyone who already has done. We're not far from 95k now, actually. I think it's around about 100 to hitting 95k, which is mega. On to the last 5,000 before 100k. Who'd have thought? Andreas in the super chat says, maybe a great midfield will stop other teams from getting to Onana. It will get, if we get a goalkeeper and this midfielder can reach the top 6. Onana in goal is 9th. Disagree, Andreas. You've not given us enough credit there. Top 4 if you get Baleba. Come on. You cannot make them signings and not expect a challenge to get into the Champions League. I'm sorry. We need to be up there challenging in the Champions League if that is the case, if we get these players in anyway. But hey, look, everyone's got their opinion now. They're seeing this. Get your thoughts in, everyone. Tell me what you think. Happy with the window so far. A quality midfielder in and Sancho, Garnacho out. Baleba would be a dream, but 100 million plus. Sceptical. We'll pay it. We will pay it, I'm telling you. Manchester United will pay that, I think. They don't mind spending big on players. I think it'll be in more around the 90 million mark. It will be a transfer record for Manchester United. That's what it will be. To get Baleba this summer, we could be about to break not just our biggest spend ever record, break our record in a transfer window, one window, but I feel will be a transfer record for Manchester United on one player. I think that could be Baleba in how this is setting up at the moment. Sudhan, thank you for that super chat, buddy. Volp Stew is in with a super chat. What a legend. Adam, are you not worried about having Onana as a number 1 next season? Mate, I'm petrified. I just can't see. I can't see a top 4 finish with him at all. Top 6 or 8 maybe. Nah, going higher. Sorry, I still think top 4. I think we're going to get a keeper though. That's why. I think one will come in. I think Onana's time is up. I do. I feel like we're going to get Senny Lamens because Romano has said that that's who Manchester United are going for. I think that's who we get. Look today, PSG have just bought Lucas Chevalier from, is it Rennes? I think it is. Is it Rennes? I can't remember his club now. And that's the number 1 goalkeeper. Donnarumma. Now, I know, whoa, let's calm down, I know, but anything is doable. This window, if any has proven, can be anything you want it to be. And Donnarumma is still on the market. I know, I'm laughing now because I can't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't think we can pull off Baleba and Donnarumma in one go. I think we would have to sell Lille. Sorry, yes. I think we would have to sell Andre Onana to get Donnarumma. I think it would, like, can you imagine? I know it sounds like I'm being really mean, but you're thinking it, so I'm going to say it. Andre Onana gets us Mbumo and Carlos Baleba in one summer, being super agent Andre, and then we say, right, go on, do one now. We're going to buy Donnarumma and sell you, so off you pop. That would be, honestly, that would be hands down the single best transfer window I think any club has ever had, considering circumstances, if United got that. But I don't, look, I think United will look to save money. Let's not forget in all of this, Carlos Baleba is not going to be a lot of money for Manchester United in wages. Apparently, the story that we said earlier on at the top of the show on Baleba, already agreed personal terms, some people are saying. Like, already in with personal terms verbally. And United have had to go to Brighton, according to this report, because they know that this could actually happen now. So Garnacho is going to be key. Obviously, Anthony and Sancho, very key as well. And Rasmus Højlund. United will be able to. Let's not forget, where we're at right now financially, United did not need to sell anybody to bring in Benjamin Sesko. We didn't need to do it. So we've got money left over from what we can spend still if we want to. I don't think we will. I think we need to sell now. Personally, I think it's going to be get Garnacho out the door next, and then we can really look to put something down on Carlos Baleba. I think that's what will happen. And yeah, like Romano says, like Jack says with the super chat there, never underestimate Manchester United. That video that's doing the rounds is an absolute killer. And that was with what he was talking about on the Benjamin Sesko situation. So yeah, I could see Garnacho leaving. 50 million, if we got that, quids in United, and that deal there pays for Baleba on its own. Because of the way that Manchester United would amortise Baleba, the deal, the wages, everything together. It's more than affordable for United. You sell Rasmus on top, you've pretty much already got there the money, if you need it, to go and spend on Baleba. And you could put a hefty deposit down to make this happen. You could make a good down payment with the Garnacho money and then spread the cost out through the rest of the contract for Carlos Baleba. That, I think, is what Brighton might try and drag from Manchester United. Hard negotiators again, very similar to what is happening with Brentford that we had with Brian and Bumo. Expect it to be a difficult transaction, like what Romano said. The transfer of Baleba will not be easy for Manchester United. Not easy at all. So, yeah, I expect a bit of a fight, but Brighton are open to this happening. It is real, it is genuine. And I think the sale of Garnacho will pave the way for Manchester United to go and get Carlos Baleba. I do. And on the goalkeeping side of things, yes, I still think United will buy one. I think it will be Lamens. TVM there in the chat says, one of our members, he says, buy Lamens. We will not invest in a #1 goalkeeper when Onana is still on the payroll with 200k per week. He's not on that, by the way. Lamens is perfect to challenge him. And of course, AFCON, Onana, few games out. Lamens makes his mark mid-season, and then Onana doesn't get back in. Perfect excuse for Manchester United to say, sorry, Onana, time to leave. We've got a new #1. He's going to have 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 if Cameroon do well in the AFCON to prove himself. Somebody will. And I think that's how Manchester United want it to work. That's how they want it to actually go down, I feel, with the goalkeeping side of things. Andre Onana is a liked guy at Manchester United. I know this for certain. Crazy, not good enough on the pitch, but I think Manchester United now, I think he signed a 4-year deal, which is the bonus for United, that the majority of what we owe on him is going to be paid up by the start of next summer. 3 years in, we'll still owe a little bit, but it won't be a lot. So United could sell him on the cheap and just get him off the books. And clear that off the finances. Let's not forget, Casemiro would have left as well, which would give United a little bit of scope with money also going into next summer. Like we said before, trying to find money elsewhere. Anthony, we have an update on Anthony now as well coming in. Again, under the radar because of all of the crazy news that's going on tonight. Anthony apparently has had 2 loan offers from Benfica. Now, out of the blue, from nowhere, they're looking to loan. What is it with people wanting to loan Anthony? This guy has just propelled Real Betis all the way up La Liga's table and got them close to winning a European trophy and getting them into the Champions League from nowhere. And all people want to do is loan him. It's like because he's done 1 loan, that's it now. He's seen as the loan man, the lone manger. That's what Anthony is now. I mean, come on. Someone somewhere has got to look at Anthony with a bit of value and actually think that he's worth a punt. Like, seriously. He has played well for Real Betis, and at that level, La Liga that is, I think there is somebody out there that needs to be snapping him up. And we keep forgetting about Anthony. Garnacho, big. He is going to be sold. There's no way that this deal doesn't happen. It just depends what Chelsea come in with, and I feel like that is going to be days away. Sancho in the wilderness at the moment. God knows what's happening there. There was some Italian reports earlier on again saying that they're back in again for him. Maybe Inter Milan will go for him if they don't get Ademola Lookman in from Bayer Leverkusen. So that, again, I feel is something that will happen late on. So don't expect anything from Garnacho, from Sancho right now. Garnacho's the one we need to be keeping our eyes on right now. From what Ornstein said, Anthony maybe follows suit. 5 million or so for Malacia and then wages off the book. We'll take that as well. We owe nothing on Malacia, so that will be more profit for Manchester United to plough into somebody else. And all these tiny little add-ons and little wins here and there will add up for United and put us in a position that we can actually go in and bid properly for Baleba. United are not messing around anymore. Can you imagine this team with Champions League consistently behind it and what we could do in the transfer window? Absolutely scary, isn't it? But yes, we are on Sesko Watch as well. Keep your comments coming in, everybody. He's in the air. He got delayed. Of course he got delayed. Everything all the way through this has been a bit of a delay, hasn't it? Actually, no, I said this earlier on. I don't think Benjamin Sesko's deal took United that long to do. When you break down from the first interest being reported by Romano and everyone else, I look at it and go, it was quite a quick deal. And I said it before on the Here We Go video when we was live. Congratulations to Manchester United for conducting business in a way that's convinced this fan base that we're not messing around anymore and we've actually got a real plan. Because that's what it looks like now. We're actually looking at what we need on the football pitch rather than what we need in the bank accounts for sponsorship deals, shirt sales, commercialisation of players, and players that really are just there to fill numbers. I think what we've done and what we've built in one summer, off the back of their first summer, which was a big test for them, it needs applauding and it needs credit. Credit where it's due. I honestly don't think there'll be many people protesting on the opening day of the season, seeing what has happened when it comes to where Manchester United are at from what this ownership has done so far since being in, and that being Ineos. They're the only ones that have ever put money into Manchester United, their own money. And that's it. And that's what Sesko is going to be walking into at Carrington tomorrow. A brand new state-of-the-art training facility, which has been Manchester United, which has been crying out for at Manchester United for decades now. So yeah, this is what Sesko's walking into. And I was talking to Kaz before, we was talking about Bruno Fernandes. Why did Bruno Fernandes stay? Well, we probably knew that all this was coming. Bruno Fernandes was going to have a team built around him to suit him. Now, Carlos Baleba obviously would be a big part of that. He's got a strike force that should keep him disciplined, and it is up to Ruben to keep him disciplined. So this is why Bruno stayed. State-of-the-art training facilities. Manchester United actually going for it in the transfer window and bringing real players in that can really challenge. This should be one of the most exciting seasons that we have had to look forward to in years as Manchester United fans. It really is getting there. And just to compare again, Newcastle, who are in the Champions League, everything that they've lost out on this summer, and comparing themselves to Manchester United, moaning about Manchester United, they're now going for Nicholas Jackson. But the latest news, I'm sorry, George, the latest news coming out here is that Bayern Munich have now joined the race for Nicholas Jackson, and Newcastle could lose out on getting Nicholas Jackson as well. Can you imagine? I would rather be a Manchester United fan right now than a lot of other fans in the Premier League. Going off the transfer window alone, mind. Like, obviously, we were shit last season. Football-wise, no, they've got that hands down. I'll accept that United, crap. Absolutely shocking. But in transfer window terms, Man United are up there with City and Liverpool right now. That I think is exactly where we are. And do you know what? I think United fans should be proud of how the club have actually been and how they've and the business that we've done. Cleared for takeoff, and their away arrival in Manchester is approximately 7:30 p.m. That I feel, 7 p.m. Sorry, that has been redone. So 7 p.m. That is what 10 minutes away, near enough now, just under 15 minutes. Raj in the chat says, Adam, you said 2 weeks ago. You said 2 weeks ago United would get Sesko. I mentioned it to you, too. I can't see the actual thing there because someone's blocking it. Oh yes, to his Slovenian friends and knew he was coming to United. Oh, actually, Raj, I remember now. You said, when I said look out for Benjamin Sesko, I said it before anybody else. I'm not someone for that, you know that. I'm not bigging myself up saying I said this before anyone else. I don't care for that shit, honestly. But I remember saying it, and a few people actually have messaged me back saying this. Benjamin Sesko, watch Benjamin Sesko now that Gyökeres has gone. I bet United go for Sesko. We've been looking at him for years, and I bet he's a target for United. They'll just bide their time. I think they'll go for him because no one else really could afford him. Didn't expect Newcastle at the time. But Raj, you did say that. Yes, your Slovenian friends have said he's a massive he's a United fan. In Slovenia, I've seen people posting pictures like there's a massive Manchester United fan base over there. They are big in Slovenia, like we are everywhere. I guarantee you're not going to get a Newcastle fan in Slovenia. You'd be hard pushed to find one anyway. But this is just the scope. This is what Manchester United are. A massive institution. That's what United is. And you're never going to be able to put us down. You're not. And we're always going to be relevant for everybody. Keep your comments coming in, everybody. More importantly, we are only 79 subscribers away from 95k. Go for it. If you haven't subscribed already, see if you can get us there. Have a good try anyway. We'll keep a quick look on that as we go to the end of this video. See how close we can get to 95k before we finish. We're 79 off. So if you haven't subscribed, go for it. Let's see if we can hit it while we're live. And we're 9 likes away from 1,000 likes. That's a given these days. You guys are excited and loving the content. So thank you again for all of them. All right, so let's get into a couple of the chats again. Let's see what we're all saying about anything we're talking about tonight. Go for it, everybody. Jack in with another one. Newcastle should just fold at this point. I bet they end up keeping bleeding Isak after all. No, they're not. I don't think they will. But I wouldn't put it past this transfer window. Isak actually staying after all of this. A complete roller coaster of a journey. But to be honest, with what's happened at Newcastle this summer, I don't see Isak staying at all. Andreas with a super chat again says, Anthony and Garnacho can rot and sit at home and watch the World Cup. They should not be allowed to train with the team again. I'm disappointed in them. Well, Garnacho looks like he's going to be sold. And that was one of our main headlines on the video tonight, everybody. David Ornstein, after the news of Benjamin Sesko signing for Manchester United, coming out and saying that Chelsea now are in advanced talks with Manchester United directly to the club for taking Garnacho this summer. And so that is big news. United have told, apparently, the Telegraph reported, Manchester United have told Chelsea it's going to take a bid of at least 50 million for Garnacho to go. They're using the Madueke as the yardstick in terms of transfers this summer, and that's the value that they're holding on Garnacho. And I think they're quite within their rights to ask for that amount of money for Garnacho. If them other players like Madueke, Alanga, the likes of Kudus and players like this are all going for 50 million plus, Garnacho has better numbers than all of them players this season. Again, like I said, in United's worst ever Premier League season. So he's worth 50 million. Let's hope that we get that deal done. If that happens, then our other main story tonight, Carlos Baleba has been told by Brighton that if United do come in with a sensible offer, talks will start and he can leave this summer. It looks like he's not going to accept that new contract that Brighton have put on the table, a contract that would stop him leaving Brighton until next summer. Well, United are in a position where they need to get Baleba now so the opposition doesn't come in. So United are in a real comfortable spot here right now with Baleba. Garnacho looking likely to be heading to the exit door very, very soon. That money would be key to bringing in Baleba and watch that situation move rapidly with 3 weeks left of the window. United have timed this to perfection. Don't expect Baleba to be in for the start of the season. This is going to be one that goes right to the end of the window. And whether United can make a transfer on a goalkeeper in that time as well, we will see. But Baleba Now is all of the talk. That's next after sales. And it does look like Garnacho is heading ever closer to that Chelsea door. And we could be recouping massive, massive money for him as well. Super chats in. Andreas says, again, especially disappointed in Garnacho and Sancho. I'm not disappointed. I know what Sancho is. And Garnacho has definitely turned this season. You're right. London with a mega super chat. Thank you, buddy. Breaking news, Manchester United have announced that they will be paying Adam an undisclosed sum of money to stay out of the UK until current negotiations are completed. Yes. All right, I've got an update just handed to me. Okay. This is on Benjamin Sesko and everything that's gone down. Just to wrap things up on Sesko, because we are getting close to that obviously being finalised over the weekend. Sesko's confirmed transfer to Manchester United. Today around lunchtime, the agent of Sesko, Elvis Basanovic, arrived in Leipzig, and tonight he will travel together with the player to Manchester. Sesko doesn't want to wait one single minute. There was a possibility to go tomorrow in the morning, but he said, I want to go immediately. What a man. Like, obviously, he's turning into a cult hero already. He's not even signed or kicked a ball yet. Manchester United are going to pay 76.5 million euros guaranteed, plus add-ons to bring the package up to 85 million euros. There is still a friendly game between Manchester United and Leipzig also at some point to raise more money, and so with the money to bring it to Red Bull Leipzig, sorry, I've said that wrong there, it looked like a bit of a typo, but the total that Leipzig will gather from Manchester United and the involvement of Benjamin Sesko, the friendly, everything else with the add-ons, 87 to 88 million euros will be the final fee. United being very, very savvy and clever with how they negotiated that one. That friendly looks like it has really clinched the deal for Benjamin Sesko. It's amazing. The agent of the player, Benjamin Sesko, had to reduce part of their salary in order to make the deal happen. So Sesko and his agents reducing the salary to make it happen. A friendly as well. The player's done his bit. He wants United at any cost. He's now expected to land literally in the next 5 minutes in Manchester to become a Manchester United player. They just sound so good. I'd read that out all night. I wish that we could get transfer windows and players like this every single summer. God, what have Man United been doing? It's been embarrassing, hasn't it? So glad I renewed my season tickets, says Sean. I very nearly handed them back after last season. See you at the Arsenal game, mates. 21 incoming, mark my words. That is the biggest flip-flop I've ever seen in my life with Sean there. He doom and gloom the other day. But London, please, what's that? London, please, Adam, listen. Oh, right, as in that super chat. Sorry, mate. Yeah. Hey, look, if they want to pay me to stay out of the country and get these deals done, I'll gladly do it. I mean, what have we had? I said it before. We've had an absolute roller coaster of a summer. Went to Lanzarote, Brian and Bumo confirmed, wanted to go to Manchester United. Went to Wales, we got Marcus Rashford gone, and the Brian Bumo, here we go. Had a drab time in Greece, nothing happened there with United, but come here to Ibiza, and we are now looking at potentially, with Sesko, here we go, done deal. Basically, all happened in 2 days while here. Could have Garnacho going, could have Baleba coming, like, if I stayed here, I think Baleba would be done. I really do. I think Baleba would be done, but hey, look, I'm going to wrap things up there, going to get out for something to eat, and we're going to keep our eye on everything as it goes down throughout the night, because obviously anything can happen with United. Expect any updates to come at any point. So I'll be live whenever anything does drop. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the show. Super chats, new members, new subscribers. Quickly, how close are we to that 95? 67 away. It's a good try. Absolutely amazing. We'll probably get to 95k tomorrow. So like the video, please subscribe to Forever United TV, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow, unless something big happens tonight. But can't see it for now. We've had enough for one day, haven't we? Can't be too greedy. Have a great evening, everyone. I'll see you all later on.